After a 9-2 scoring outburst last night for the Jayhawks, they are taking on the Drake Bulldogs in the second game of this weekend showdown here at Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside. Ryan Cartman up here in the broadcast booth for today's game. Getting ready for the second game of a weekend series between the Bulldogs, Division III Independent, and the Kansas Jayhawks, a Division III Silver West Matcha team. Folks, the stream's a little laggy today, and frankly, it's all been a little slow today. The Wi-Fi here hasn't been great, and we've been dealing with lagging, so we got the stream started late. We're trying to figure out the problem with the Wi-Fi, but I guess it's been going around the whole building, so fortunately, it's going to be a little laggy today, but hey, it's better than showing nothing, so we'll go for that. So again, as I mentioned yesterday, 9-2 scoring outburst for the Jayhawks. It's the Hockey Fights Cancer game as well tonight. Very important month of the year for hockey, and specifically the Kansas Jayhawks. All throughout the month of November, the KU Hockey Club's been taking part in fundraisers on campus and off campus in Lawrence, raising money against this horrible disease, and it's just been a great month for Kansas and for this fight against cancer. Ceremonial puck drop today was done earlier. It was done by Courtney Younglove, the mother of KU hockey player Connor Brace, who will be getting to start today for the Jayhawks. She's a physician who was practicing medicine in the greater Kansas City area for 25 years, and she's seen many patients die throughout their fight with cancer, their fearless fight with cancer. Her mother did pass away in 2023 from complications from a viral infection, but in the few years prior, battled cancer twice. So we thank Courtney, our ceremonial puck drop, for all she's done in her fight against cancer. As we're introducing starting lineups, we'll look over starting lineups really quick before we squeeze the national anthem in for Drake. It's different from last night. Starting left winger, it is going to be Parker Peterson, starting center, Ian Altacruz, and starting on the right wing is Davis Bai. Starting defense, Sean Summerness. He had an assist last night. And another starting defense is Davis Bai, the senior out of St. Louis Park, Minnesota. And starting in goal for the Bulldogs, different starting goaltender, it's Cole Jackson, the 6'4" freshman out of Oak Park, Illinois. We get to the national anthem. We'll take a quick pause. After the national anthem, we'll get back to starting lineups really quick before opening puck drop. Starting goaltender, as I said, for the Bulldogs, Cole Jackson, the 6'4" freshman out of Oak Park, Illinois, 0-1-1 on the year, 4.2 goals against average with an .891 save percentage, and no shutouts for him. We go to the Jayhawks. It's going to be the fourth line for Jayhawks getting a start today. Starting out on the left wing, that's going to be Kyle Mead. He had an assist last night. Moving over to center, that's going to be Tyler Nelson. He's on the first line too, so Nelson pulling double duty again this season. Nelson last night, 2 goals and an assist, 3-point night for Nelly. And starting on the right wing, it's going to be Connor Brace, as we mentioned before, his mother doing the puck drop. So Coach Andy McConnell for Jayhawks giving Brace the start on the right wing. Brace, the sophomore out of Shawnee, so the local boy here in town. Starting defense for the Jayhawks stays the same. Zach Roberts starting at the left side, and it's going to be Blake Hearn starting on the right side. He had 2 assists of his own last night. And the starting goaltender for the Jayhawks, Kai Vetter, the freshman 6'2", 195 out of Edwardsville, Illinois. Ben Olson had a great start last night for the Jayhawks. Kai Vetter looking to match it as we're ready for opening faceoff here from Madison Hill Sports Park, and the Jayhawks win it. Kyle Mead will send it down the boards. Game time, 4:34, puck drop in Overland Park. That's Brace with the puck on the stick. Brace shot on goal, gloved up by Jackson. Going to be a stoppage on the ice. Face-off's going to come out to the left of Jackson here. It's going to be Nelson to take it for the Jayhawks. He kicks it back. Brace tries to take a shot on goal, but it was Peterson there, went off his leg, and here come the Bulldogs the other way. Puck turned over in KU territory, back to the Jayhawks, and this is Connor Brace with the puck on his stick. Brace racing down the left side. Brace shot on goal, gloved and stopped by Cole Jackson. So we look at stats from last night's game. Bulldogs 0 for 1 on the power play with 37 shots on goal. Jayhawks still in their hand, 46 shots on goal, but they did not get a power play opportunity. Very clean game and penalty-wise overall. Zach Sudeikis, the only penalty last night, coming on a minor tripping call against him. Overall, clean game. Here's the puck along the near boards now. Trying to play it up to Brace was Hearn, but it goes off Brace's stick and going to back to play it is Bye. Bye loses it, so Brace gets a hold of it now for the moment, but it's back to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs now rushing up the puck along the near boards. That's Altacruz with it. Altacruz dangles around a man. Altacruz goes backhand. He scores! Ian Altacruz puts the Bulldogs up early 1-0 in this hockey game. So Ian Altacruz goes forehand, backhand on Kai Vetter, moves around Gavin Wasmith with ease, the defenseman for the Jayhawks. And we got ourselves a 1-0 hockey game. Bulldogs coming out with the early lead after the Jayhawks came out with an early lead last night. So Jayhawks win that face-off after the goal, and here comes the second line for Jayhawks. This is Aiden Siddons. Aiden wraps around for his brother Brett. Centering pass, do so, kicked aside by Jackson. Centering pass attempted there for the Jayhawks, but deflected off of a Creighton player. Now it's back into the KU zone. Here is Aguilar with the puck. Aguilar had a goal last night, his first of the 2024-2025 season. Here's Duso with the puck on the stick now. Feeding it to Aiden Siddons. Siddons couldn't control the puck, so he has to go back, and he turns it over now in neutral ice. This is Brownwell with it. Brownwell tries to shake off a man, can't. And the Jayhawks look to regain control of the puck. They do. This is Malcolm Johnson with it. Johnson to Siddons. Siddons tries to keep it, can't. Bulldogs able to keep it in for the moment. Here comes Brett Siddons down, streak down the ice. Brett Siddons down Main Street, looking to score, can't get the puck on his stick, and that puck's going to float into the near corner. Aiden Siddons with it now. Actually, it's Gavin Davis trying to fight for it with the Jayhawks, going up against Aguilar. Siddons gets the better of him. That's Breyer. Breyer to Sudeikis. Sudeikis back to Breyer. Breyer now. Shot on goal attempted. Didn't get through. Breyer tries to keep it in the blue line. Can't. And Jayhawks are going to have to reset here. Breyer tries to dump it in, but weak attempt. Goes right back to the Bulldogs. 17.5 minutes to go in the first period now. After an early lead for the Bulldogs, courtesy of an Ian Altacruz goal. Altacruz, that was his fourth goal of the season. Here's Tyler Nelson now streaking up the center of the ice. The ever-dangerous Tyler Nelson. Here's Nelson trying to squeak through two guys. Nelson tries to poke it into 5-hole. Can't. Stop there by Cole Jackson. After a 3-minute period of nonstop hockey, finally get a break as his faceoff's going to come out to the left of Jackson. Going to be the third line out here for the Jayhawks. First time we're going to see them tonight. Or this evening, I should say. It's Luke Lamb along the far corner boards. Lamb circles around. Tries for a centering pass. Can't find it, though. It's Matthew Garcia behind the net. He'll poke it up the boards, looking for a teammate. But Travis Breyer tries to intercept it. He gives it back to Garcia. He rigs around the boards, but Sudeikis gets it first. Here's Breyer now with the puck on his stick. Breyer shot on goal. Weak shot. Kicked aside by Jackson. Jayhawks gets a rebound, though. This is Fisher with the puck on his stick. Fisher feeds it to Davis. Davis tries to ring it around behind the net, but it gets intercepted. But the Jayhawks intercept it back, so here's Fisher with it now. Fisher behind the net. Fisher centering pass, looking for Lamb, can't find him. Here's Lamb behind the net. Luke Lamb with it. Centering pass for Brace. Brace went off his skate, so he couldn't get control of it. Here comes Drake the other way. That's Alta Cruz with it. Scored the first goal, the only goal of the game so far, in courtesy of the Bulldogs. Here's Peterson. Centering pass attempted. Couldn't find home. Garcia with the shot on goal, but it doesn't get to the goal before the Jayhawks deflect it. Here's Breyer with the puck on the stick. He'll dump it for Zdekis. Breyer and Zdekis have been out here for the past minute and a half. They're going to have to go for a change soon. Breyer goes for it first. Entering offsides, though, is the Jayhawks, so we'll have a stoppage here, and this puck will come out in the neutral ice for a faceoff. Shots on goal so far today, 5 for the Jayhawks, 1 for the Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs are making most of their shots on goal with a goal. Face off in neutral ice, won by the Jayhawks, but they're going to have to go back to retreat it behind the red dot. This is Blake Hearn with the puck. Hearn stops behind his net, waits for his offense to reset. And here they go now. This is Mead with it, the fourth line out for the Jayhawks. Kyle Mead along the near boards. Mead will feed it to Hearn. Hearn drops down behind the red dot. Hearn will now go behind the net. Hearn, the defenseman, loves to play offensive sometimes. Here's Roberts. Hearn tries to get a slapper on goal. Couldn't get all of it. As now the Jayhawks are on the back check in the meantime. Here's Roberts. Now he'll regain control of that puck and swing it over to his defensive pairing in Hearn. Hearn leaves it for Roberts. Roberts tries to feed it up. Icing waved off here. This is Garcia with it. Garcia looks for Branwell. Bulldogs will dump it in. That is Johnson with it on the stick. Johnson swings it to Roberts, who will swing it behind the net, and it's going to be icing called here against the Jayhawks. $14:50 to go in the first period of this Division III game. Face-off to the right of Vetter. Won by the Jayhawks. Swinging around the boards here. Garcia and Roberts battling for it, or else excuse me. But Roberts will win the battle. Here is Nelson now. Nelson looks to go behind the net. He does. Tyler Nelson tries to get around a man, cannot, but here's Wasmith with it. Wasmith dumps it down. Aiden Siddons now. Siddons shot on goal. Rebound opportunity for the Jayhawks. Can't get it on net. Aiden Siddons comes away with the loose change, though. Here's Roberts to Aiden Siddons. Siddons now. Cross ice attempted for Wasmith, but goes off the stick of a Bulldog. And icing waved off because it went off the stick of a Bulldog. Headman pass attempted there for Aiden Siddons, but intercepted by the Bulldogs before it could get to him. As the Bulldogs cause a turnover, they have the puck in neutral ice. This is Peterson with it. Here is Wasmith now. He turns it over again, and it's the Bulldogs with the puck. Shot on goal. Gloved aside there by Vetter. Rebound opportunity. Jayhawks able to clear it out. Shot on goal by Bide. Couldn't get through. Hit Siddons before it can get there, and we have a stoppage on the ice. It's going to be a hand pass called against the Jayhawks. Going to be called against Brett Siddons. He doesn't like the call, but face-off's going to come out to the left of the net of Kai Vetter. Siddons to take it for the Jayhawks. Peterson to take it for the Bulldogs, and it's going to be Siddons getting the better of Peterson. Here's Johnson trying to feed it across the boards. Keeping it in is by Malcolm Johnson with the puck on the stick. He turns it over behind the net. Centering pass attempted. No good for the Bulldogs. Aiden Siddons now has the puck on his stick. Siddons tries to clear it over to Duso. Dangerous center ice pass there, but Duso able to get it. Brett Siddons falls over, so the Bulldogs look to come the other way, and they do. Here's Ian Altacruz with it. He loses it. Wasmith picks it up, but turns it over. This is Bridgman. Bridgman centering pass attempted. Can't get through a swarm of Jayhawks. So here come the Hawks the other way. This is Brett Siddons. Siddons loses it, so it's going to be Davis Bye to pick up that puck. Bye tries to feed it down to Peterson, but Peterson goes off his skate. He can't get a handle of it. Here's Breyer now. Breyer goes off the boards. Tries to find a streaking Woolington, but just too far out in front of him. Puck played behind the net now. Jayhawks and Bulldogs battling for it. It's going to be the Bulldogs getting the better of it for the meantime. Travis Brido tries to get it. He does. Breyer, shot on goal. Swallowed up by Jackson. We're going to have a stoppage on the ice. Early 1-0 lead for Drake, coming courtesy of an Ian Alta Cruz goal. His 4th of the year, not even a minute in, or just over a minute in, excuse me, to the first period. So after the Jayhawks score early last night, minute and a half into the game, Drake scores early this game, about a minute, 5 seconds into the game or so. Clearing pass there for the Bulldogs. Almost got intercepted by Zadakis. He couldn't get a handle of it. Here's the Bulldogs now. Garcia flings it across ice. Headman pass there, attempted. Couldn't get it, so it's going to be Breyer with the puck. Breyer tries to clear it. He can't. He tries again, and he does for Woolington. Nick Woolington now on net. Nick Woolington will not have an opportunity as Cole Jackson able to smother up that puck before Woolington can do any potential damage. Faceoff comes out to the right of Jackson, won by the Jayhawks. Breyer shot on goal, couldn't get through Brownwell. So that puck gets crawled now by the Jayhawks. Here's Zadakis. Zadakis will ring it around the boards, but nobody home for the Jayhawks, so it's Davis by with the puck. Puck along the near boards, played by the Bulldogs. They're trying to get it out, and they can't. Woolington with it now along the far boards. Zadakis tries to clear it in, and he'll dump it down as the defensive pairing for the Jayhawks goes for a change, and they get it off in time. Nelson able to keep that puck in. Tyler Nelson now. Nelson shot on goal, goes wide of net. And it comes all the way out in neutral ice to be played by Blake Hearn, as Hearn will dump it down. Icing waved off, though. Here is Drake with it now along the far boards. Dumped in by. Icing waved off as the Bulldogs win that race to the puck. Here's By with it. By shot on goal, kicked aside by Vetter. Bullard now with it. The first time we're calling George Bullard's name this evening. Bullard tries to clear it, can't. Brownwell gets to it first. Brownwell able to come away with it. Here's Brownwell with it. Brownwell shot on goal. Goes off of the blocker side of Vetter. This is Bullard now with the puck. Bullard feeds it up. Can't find anybody, though, as it's a turnover. And it's the Bulldogs now with the puck in their defensive zone. If you're just joining us, welcome inside. I'm Ryan Cartman, calling this game solo this evening. Bulldogs out to an early 1-0 lead, courtesy of an Ian Alta Cruz goal just over a minute into this first period. Puck played behind the net right now. Jayhawks come away with it. It's third line out for the Jayhawks. This is Luke Lamb. Luke Lamb along the near boards. He coasts. Shot on goal, sticked aside by Jackson. Puck played behind the net now. Luke Lamb trying to get it out, but the Bulldogs get to it first, and they come the other way now. Here come the Bulldogs. Alta Cruz, pass attempted for him, but just behind him, and it's Jayhawks coming the other way. This is Jackson Fisher. Fisher and Lamb together, that Wayzata connection. Fisher shot on goal, wide of net. Wasmith able to keep it in. He'll ring it around the boards. Luke Lamb with it now. Luke Lamb for Wasmith. Wasmith can't keep it in. And this puck will come into neutral ice. Here's the Alta Cruz now trying to race for it, but Malcolm Johnson gets to it first. We're about to hit the 9.5-minute mark here of this first period. Pass intercepted there. Aguilar shot on goal. Goes wide of net. Here's Fisher now. Fisher will ring it around the boards to Wasmith. And the Jayhawks look to come the other way. Wasmith dumps it for Lamb. Lamb can't get a control of it, though, as his puck gets played loose around the neutral ice. Here's the Bulldogs now in the defensive zone. This is Brownwell with the puck. Brownwell gets shoved off temporarily, but he gets control. Brownwell shot. Vetter looking at his glove, wishing he caught that one, but he didn't. Here's Malcolm Johnson with it now, and Johnson's going to feed it down. Headman pass attempted for Nelson. Icing waved off, though. Our lineswoman says Nelson got it tipped before icing could be called. Here's Mead now with it. Mead trying to shove off some pressure from Reading. Reading, though, gets the better of Mead and causes a turnover in Drake's defensive zone. Here's Brownwell now behind the net of his goaltender, Jackson. By now going cross ice, attempted but intercepted by the Jayhawks. This is Malcolm Johnson with it. Losing an edge there, it's Gavin Wasmith, so the Bulldogs are 2-on-1 if they hurry. Here goes a shot on goal, goes wide and high. Nothing going there for the Bulldogs. Here comes Mead the other way. He'll dump it in. The Jayhawks go on the forecheck. Aiden Siddons trying to get it on the forecheck, and he does. Nice forechecking by the Jayhawks. Getting swarmed, though, by 3 Bulldogs. Siddons trying to hold on to it, waiting for some reinforcements. He has him there and his brother Brett. Here's Aiden Siddons now. Aiden behind the net. Bulldogs giving him time. Aiden Siddons wraparound opportunity and smothering it up is Cole Jackson. Nice job by the freshman netminder for the Bulldogs. Face off here is going to come out to the right of Cole Jackson. Going to be the first line for the Bulldogs to take the face off, and they win it. This is Ian Altacruz, the lone goal scorer so far today. Altacruz works around to Dacus. Altacruz driving in, shot on goal. Blocked aside by Vetter. Bulldogs had yet another rebound opportunity, but the Jayhawks able to come up with it, and this is Zadakis. Zadakis will dump it in. Jayhawks can't get to it in time as trying to clear it out as the Bulldogs, but it goes up into the net. Stoppage on the ice here, 7:32 to go in this first period. Face-off coming out to the left of the netminder Jackson. Winning the face-off is the Jayhawks. Centering pass attempted there for Dussault. Couldn't get a handle on it. Breyer tried for a shot on net, but it went off the skate of Altacruz. Here's Brett Siddons. Siddons dumps down for Zadakis. Zadakis to Breyer. Breyer back to Zadakis, playing a little hot potato. Zadakis shot on goal. Tipped in front by a Jayhawk, but into the waiting arms of Cole Jackson. So we'll have a stoppage here. 11 shots on goal for the Jayhawks, 7 for the Bulldogs. It was Aiden Siddons putting up a screen in front of Cole Jackson. Had his stick on the puck, but just went right into Jackson's arms. Here come the Bulldogs the other way after the Jayhawks won the faceoff. Drake now trying to get that puck across the blue line. They can't, though. Jayhawks protecting that blue line well. Here's Breyer with the puck. Breyer turns it over in his zone. This is Altacruz now. Altacruz, cross-ice pass, shot on goal, sticked aside by Vetter and into the net. What was stoppage on the ice? You could hear the gasps of some fans in here thinking that puck might have went into the net after that hard slap shot there by the Bulldogs. But Vetter able to stick it aside up into the net, so it'll be a face-off coming out to his right. Aguilar to take it for the Bulldogs. Nelson for the Jayhawks. Nelson gets the better of Aguilar. Zadakis now pinned up against the boards by Reading. Nelson able to come away with it, though, and here comes Nelly. Tyler Nelson racing up. He has Gavin Davis with him. Davis, centering pass attempted. Couldn't connect off a Bulldog. Gavin Davis gets it back. Davis will let it ring around the boards. Roberts here. Roberts, the defenseman, rings it back. This is Nelson for the Jayhawks trying to get control of it, but the Bulldogs get to it first. Bulldogs able to clear down the neutral ice, and Zach Roberts going to have to go back and retreat for it. Roberts dumps it for Hearn. And Blake Hearn now will come streaking up the ice trying to start the Jayhawks offense. Here's Tyler Nelson with it. Tyler Nelson along the right side. Nelson will go behind the net. Looking for a man. He finds him, tried to find him in Zach Roberts, but it's intercepted by the Bulldogs. Here comes Brownwell the other way. Brownwell along the near board. Shot on goal. Tried to go 5-full. Vetter able to cover up. Puck behind the net now being battled for by a Jayhawk and a Bulldog, and the Jayhawks come away with it. Here's Gavin Davis. Davis headman pass. Tyler Nelson with it now. Here's Tyler Nelson. He has Blake Hearn, the defenseman, with him. Nelson behind the net of Jackson. He loses the handle on it, so it's the Bulldogs ringing it out, and this will make its way down for an icing. Been a slow game most of this first period. Other than that Ian Altacruz goal, not many scoring opportunities for these teams. Considering the onslaught we had, 6 goals in that first period combined last night. Jayhawks win that faceoff to the left of Jackson. This is Luke Lamb with the puck. Lamb, the puck carrier. Looking for a shot on goal, tipped in front by a Jayhawk. and into the corner boards. Here is George Bullard with the puck. Bullard, though, gets bullied off the puck by a couple Bulldogs, but Jackson Fisher able to pick up that change. Fisher's shot on goal off the stick of a Bulldog goes high. It's Aguilar now to carry it for the Bulldogs. And here's Drake now. Drake tries to clear it up. And here is Reading with it. Reading tried to get it on his stick, but couldn't. So this is Jackson Fisher now for the Jayhawks. Fisher pressure off the puck there by Reading. Fisher, though, able to keep it on the stick. Nice job by Jackson Fisher, the freshman. Garcia with it. He tries to clear it. He can't, so it's Aiden Siddons now. Aiden Siddons, shot on goal, tipped in front. Blocker to side by Jackson. Here is Wasmith with it. Wasmith's shot on goal attempted there, but didn't get through. Wasmith for Fisher. Fisher shot. Didn't get to Jackson. Deflected up in front and into the corner boards. Puck gets batted around the near boards. Wasmith takes a little shot right there, and he loses control of the puck. So it's the Bulldogs coming the other way. This is Peterson with it. Peterson will dump it in. Looked like he tried to get a shot on goal, but went wide. So we'll call that a dump in. Here's the Bulldogs with control of the puck for the moment, but it's going to be dumped in here by Bridgman. Behind the net to pick it up is Wasmith. Wasmith for Brett Siddons. Brett Siddons with the Jayhawks are 3-on-2 if they hurry. Siddons, centering pass for his brother Aiden. Back to Brett Siddons. Brett Siddons tried for a centering pass there, but the captain Caleb Duso wasn't home. But the Bulldogs, will dump it down to length of the ice for an icing. 3:22 to go in this first period of play. Considering all things what happened yesterday, a 9-2 blowout win, this is a great start if you're a Bulldogs fan. If you're a Jayhawks fan, very disappointing start. But the scoreboard shows that. Winning that faceoff to left to Jackson is the Jayhawks. Here's Aiden Siddons with the puck on the stick. Siddons tries to get around him and can't. And for a moment, it looks like Bridgman could have had a breakaway opportunity, but Aiden Siddons able to fight him off, and the puck gets dumped down. Brett Siddons shot on goal off the post. Net looks to be off his bearings. They're not whistling it dead, though. Here's Breyer with it. He dumps it down. And finally, our referee realizes that the net's off his bearings, so we'll have a stoppage on the ice with 2:57 to go in this first. Faceoff comes out to the right of Jackson. Tyler Nelson to take it for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks temporarily won it, but the Bulldogs look to try to come away with it at least, but the Jayhawks get it right back. Here's Tyler Nelson. Nelson feeds Zadakis. Zadakis shot on goal wide. Might have hit something on its way to the net. Puck now played behind. This is Sommerness looking for his defensive partner in Garcia. Garcia lost control of it, so it's Tyler Nelson now. Woolington tries to go wraparound, can't. Nelson tries to get a shot on goal, and it gets through. Tyler Nelson puts the Jayhawks on the board here as we're all knotted up in Overland Park. An innocent-looking shot from Tyler Nelson finds its way in between the glove and left side of Cole Jackson, and the Jayhawks finally find some offense in this first period. They tie it up. Each team 1 goal apiece. First line out for the Jayhawks to take the face-off. Jayhawks win it. Travis Breyer tries to dump it into Bulldog territory, but loses control of it. Zadakis now tries to dump it into Bulldog territory, but the Bulldogs go to it first. This is Sommerness. Tyler Nelson with that goal. Give him 3 goals on the weekend so far and an assist. A 4-point weekend for Tyler Nelson. Nothing more you can ask for if you're a Jayhawk fan. Here's Tyler Nelson again with the puck on the stick. Nelson now. He waits along the blue line to find something. He'll look for Breyer. Breyer now along the near corner. Dumps it behind the net. Back to Breyer. Breyer for Zadakis. Zadakis tries to center it over to Breyer, and it goes into the Bulldog bench. Todd Henderson to head coach for these Bulldogs, tried to catch it like an outfielder, but couldn't get his hands on it. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a stoppage on the ice, and this puck's going to come out to the left of Jackson for a faceoff with 1:41 to go in this first. Faceoff to the left of Jackson, won by the Bulldogs. Here comes Drake now. Puck looked to go up in the netting, didn't. Centering pass attempted there by Drake. Nobody home. It was just Blake Hearn. So the Jayhawks looked to go the other way with it, but Drake able to get to it first. Aguilar and Hearn battling for it. Hearn gets the better of him. He whips it over the boards for Aiden Siddons. Siddons, though, turns it over. Caleb Dusso with the puck now. Gives it to Hearn. Hearn loses control, but Zach Roberts able to back him up, and he dumps it in. Bulldogs get a handle of it. This is By with the puck. Aguilar with it now along the red line, but he can't get control of it off his skate. So it's Brett Siddons with it. Siddons attempting for Dusso, but it's intercepted by the Bulldogs. Here's Nick Aguilar. Aguilar dumps it for Brownwell. Brownwell shot on goal. Swallowed up. Save there by Vetter. 46 and 8/10 seconds to go in this first period exactly. Fortunately, we don't have the luxury of having the 10th of a second on our score bug, but in the arena, we do go down to a 10th of a second. Faceoff comes out to the right of the net of Vetter. Won by the Jayhawks and Tyler Nelson. Roberts flings it out, and we have a stoppage on the ice. Couldn't see the exact hand signal that was called. I think it was played by high stick by Jayhawk. So it's going to come back to the right of Vetter for yet another faceoff. Faceoff won by the Bulldogs. This is Bridgman with the stick on his puck. With the puck on the stick, excuse me. Now Altcruz with a shot on goal. Glove there and stopped by Kai Vetter. Faceoff comes out to the left of Kai. 31.4 seconds to go in the first. Woolington for the Jayhawks. Altacruz for the Bulldogs, and Woolington wins it. This is Tyler Nelson now. Nelson streaking down the far boards. Loses control of it, but gets it back. Tyler Nelson now with 20 seconds left along the blue line. Here's Hearn now. Hearn back to Nelson. Nelson, ever so patient with the puck, finds Hearn behind the net. Centering pass attempted there. Shot on goal attempted by Davis. Went wide. Davis again with the puck. Davis shot. Deflected in front of the net. Woolington shot goes high. And with that shot, that'll end our first period of play. Drake got to be going into this first intermission happy, having this game tied 1-1 after going down 5-1 deficit into the first intermission last night. Goal for Drake coming via Ian Altacruz. And for the Jayhawks, it was Tyler Nelson getting his third goal of the weekend. So we head into the first intermission break. All knotted up one here from Advent Hill Sports Park at Blue Hawk here in Overland Park, Kansas. We'll take it to the first intermission break. Keep it locked in here on the Jayhawk Hockey YouTube channel. Back here for the start of some second period action between the Jayhawks and the Bulldogs. All knotted up 1 goal apiece as we get ready to start the second period. Thanks for Zach Roberts for that interview. Lily Schutzenhoff for doing a good job with that interview. And yeah, it just shows you how important Hockey Fights Cancer is for not only us here at the K-Hockey staff, but also the players as well. Zach Roberts' mom beating cancer multiple times, and man, what this horrible disease can do. But when you see people like Zach Roberts' mom who have beat this horrible, horrible disease multiple times, it really lets you know that, their hope's not lost with this disease. And, every donation at a time, was one step closer to finding a cure and finally defeating this horrible disease. So from all of us, the KU hockey staff, we're great to see Zach Roberts' mom with us here, with us supporting Zach Roberts still. So with all that said, on this Hockey Fights Cancer night, we're getting ready for some second period action again, all knotted up 1 goal apiece, courtesy of an Ian Altacruz goal just past the 1 minute mark in the first period, giving Drake an early lead, but then answering back in the latter half of the first period, it was Tyler Nelson getting his 6th goal of the season, his 3rd of the weekend, 4th point of the weekend, and we're all knotted up here. Jayhawks 14 shots on goal, Drake 10 shots on goal, no penalties in that first period at all. It's been very clean hockey this week. Zach Sadakis taking the only penalty of the weekend. It was in the second period last night. Tripping minor called against him. Other than that, it's been some clean hockey. Both teams looking to keep it that way. And as we're ready to drop the puck here for the start of the second period. Going to be the first line out for the Jayhawks to drop the puck. And winning that faceoff is the second line for the Bulldogs. Nick Aguilar won it. Here the Bulldogs now on a fresh sheet of ice. Brownwell with it. Tries to get it on net, but turns it over. Getting pressure off the puck by the Jayhawks. And here come the Jayhawks the other way. Wow, they're flying out of the second period. Here comes KU. This is Tyler Nelson with it. Nelson will circle around and wait. This is Hearn now. Hearn back to Nelson. Nelson shot on goal, deflected in front of the net, goes wide. Back to Tyler Nelson here. Nelson for Hearn. Hearn will take a shot on goal, stick to side, and goes up in the net, out of play. So only 41 seconds into the start of this first period, and the Jayhawks coming out with some fire, some intensity, some speed to start out this second period. Face off to the right of Jackson, won by the Jayhawks. Shot on goal, stick to side and goes wide. Up on top of the net of Jackson. Jackson tried to glove it to stop it, but he couldn't. It falls down, and Tyler Nelson gets it. He feeds it to Gavin Davis. Gavin Davis, though, gets pressured off. Aguilar tries to clear it. He can't. Puck on the stick of Hearn. Hearn feeds Davis. Davis, shot on goal. I don't know if that got something or if that just missed the net. Either way, it goes wide. But rebound picked up by the Jayhawks. Trying to clear it out is Reading. Davis able to keep it in. He tries to find Hearn, but it goes back. So Jayhawks going to have to retreat on the back check. Here's KU with the puck now after that puck gets batted around in their defensive zone. Trying to clear it out is the Jayhawks, but the Bulldogs get to it first. Reading shot on goal. Goes high, blocker side. Just missed a little bit of a gap there, did Reading. Here's Bye. Garcia now with it. He feeds it up, and here come the Bulldogs. Headband pass attempted for Aguilar there. It goes just in front of him, and it's going to be an icing against the Bulldogs. With a minute 47 gone in this first period. Face off to the right of Jackson, won by the Bulldogs. Brownwell with the puck on the stick. We called Christian Brownwell's name a lot last night. Charles Brownwell, excuse me. We called Charles Brownwell's name a lot last night. And even though he didn't get on the score sheet at all, he was definitely a factor for the Bulldogs. Had the puck a lot. whenever they were in KU's offensive zone, seems like you always had to call Brownwell's name. Here's the puck behind the net now as Duso tries to wrap it around. Deflected, though, off of Davis Bye's skate. Jayhawks able to regain control of it. Aiden Siddons able to keep it in along the blue line. Nice job by the young man as Wassmith feeds it into the corner boards. Here's Duso for Brett Siddons. Brett Siddons now carried along the near boards. He'll look to dump it to Johnson, but he decides to keep it. Siddons now. Siddons shot on goal. Glove to side into the corner by Jackson. Now here comes Drake the other way, attempting to, but Johnson intercepts a headman pass for Reading. But then the Jayhawks turn it right over, so it's Brownwell now. Brownwell enters cleanly, but gets pushed off the puck there by Brett Siddons. And it's KU's turn now to come the other way. Here's Aiden with the puck on the stick. Aiden Siddons gets poked off it for a second. He tries to regain control of it, but the Bulldogs get to it first, and it's their turn to come the other way. Here's Peterson with it. Peterson flashing up the near boards. Peterson shot on goal. Couldn't get the rebound. Could Vetter. Another shot on goal by Alta Cruz. Blocker to side by Vetter. Vetter been letting up a lot of rebounds. Shakes his head there. I think he wished that he was able to corral that puck earlier and stop it. Here's Duso, the captain for the Jayhawks now. Gets pressured off by Bye, and Bye will send it down the length of the ice. We're going to have an icing here. 16:31 to go in this second period. Face off to the right of Jackson, won by the Jayhawks. Shot on goal attempted there. Rebound, though, goes back to the Bulldogs. Here's Drake now trying to run up the side of the ice. Dump in there by the Bulldogs. Zadakis gets to it first. As KU looks to create some offensive pressure of their own, but Zadakis turns it over in neutral ice. Here's a one-on-one opportunity. Alta Cruz. Zach Zadakis laying the body on the line there, blocking that shot before it can get to Vetter. Calling for the puck there is Luke Lamb. He won't get it. Here's Jack Fisher with it. Fisher circles around for Zadakis now. Zadakis shot. Stick to side there off of Bridgman. Dumping it behind the net. This is Bullard now. Bullard. Feeds it behind the net. This is Jackson Fisher. Fisher looking for Lamb. Can't connect. Davis Bye had it on the stick temporarily, but turns it over. Here's Lamb. Lamb. Fisher. Breyer. Shot on goal. Blocker to side there. Kick to side, I should say, by Jackson. Lamb. Shot on goal. Didn't get through. Here comes Drake. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Breakaway opportunity. Here's Peterson. Peterson gets it sticked off. Gets the puck off his stick. Nice defensive play there by Zadakis. And here's KU now. Fisher. Fisher had nobody with him as the rest of the Jayhawks going for a line change. So all he could do there was keep it dumped in as now Fisher goes for a line change. It's the first line out now for the Jayhawks. Shot on goal attempted there. Kicked aside by Jackson. And Summerness will try to clear it out. And he does. Here's Alta Cruz. Had it on his stick for a millisecond, but Hernan gets to it first. Jayhawks tried to go the other way now. Here's Gavin Davis. Gavin Davis gets shoved a little bit there off the puck, and it's going to go back into neutral ice. Here is Woolington. Woolington enters the zone. Woolington goes through a couple Bulldogs. Woolington gets shoved onto the net by a Bulldog, and it's going to be a penalty against Nick Woolington, it looks like. And it's going to be our first penalty of the game. One can only figure goaltending interference. No, it's going to be a cross-check, and it's going against the Bulldogs. Okay, I thought the refs were going to have a go against Woolington. I think this is the right call here. They're calling Parker Peterson for a cross-check against Woolington, cross-checking him into the net of Jackson, and I think that's the right call there by the referees. Woolington was streaking in, and he looked to stop and just poke it in five-full on Jackson, but that's when Peterson came from behind and gave him a cross-check and pushed him down on top of Jackson, and I think that's why Jackson fell over, because of that cross-check from Peterson. So it's going to be the Jayhawks' first power play opportunity of this weekend series after going 0 for 5 last weekend in Omaha. Face-off coming out to the left of the net of Jackson. Won by the Jayhawks. Here is Brett Siddons. Brett Siddons feeds it to Duso. Duso gives it back out to Nelson. Nelson working the blue line. Siddons now with it. Brett Siddons, shot on goal, swallowed up. Save there by Jackson. 16 seconds, tick off the clock for that power play. 19 shots on goal for the Jayhawks, 12 for the Bulldogs. Face off to the right of Jackson. Won by the Jayhawks for a moment, and they do win it. Here's Nelson now. Tyler Nelson for Roberts, but he lost it before it got to Roberts, so it gets cleared out. Here's Paxton Reading trying to chase after it on the forecheck. Nelson shoves him off, though, and it's Jayhawks coming another way. Caleb Duso, the captain for the Jayhawks. First power play unit out for KU. Here's Aiden Siddons along the far boards. Aiden leaves it. Here's Brett Siddons now, his brother. Here's Brett, tries to poke it in, can't. Aiden gets the rebound. Aiden Siddons feeds it to Tyler Nelson. Tyler Nelson back to Brett Siddons. Brett Siddons, shot. Deflected before it could get to the end of Jackson. Here's Tyler Nelson with it. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Tyler Nelson to Aiden Siddons. Aiden Siddons winds up, shot. Gloved and saved there by Cole Jackson. What a save by the young man. Tried to catch it, deflected off the tip of his glove, so it fell right to the bottom of his feet. Luckily, no Jayhawks were there to poke it in on Jackson, so he's able to cover it up, giving Matthew Garcia a little bit of a thanks there, just tapping him on the head, saying, hey, thanks for making sure no Jayhawks were in front of my net there. Here's Johnson now, second power play unit out for the Jayhawks. Hearn now along the near boards. Blake Hearn, Jackson Fisher, Johnson, centering pass for Lamb, trying to poke it in on the Jayhawks, but they can't. Jackson able to cover up in time. 29 seconds to go on the minor penalty to Parker Peterson. A cross check. Face off out to the right of Jackson. Luke Lamb to take it for the Jayhawks. Face off won by KU temporarily, but Davis Bye able to get to it. He tries to clear it, can as the puck's battled along for on the boards. Here's Jackson Fisher coming away with it. Fisher shot on goal. Nice glove hand save there by Cole Jackson. Jayhawks right now looking up to the heavens saying, what else do we have to do to get the puck past the 6'4" freshman netminder for the Bulldogs? Here's Malcolm Johnson with it. Feeds it to Fisher along the boards. Fisher shot on goals. Rebound opportunity. Drake able to clear it out, and that's going to be all she wrote for this KU power play with 5 seconds remaining. Peterson's out of the box. We're back to even strength. Malcolm Johnson feeds it. Headman pass for Fisher. Fisher dangles around Garcia. Fisher tries to get it on the stick. Can't, but Blake Hearn able to pick it up for the Jayhawks. Here's Lamb now. Lamb back to Hearn. Hearn, centering pass for Lamb, can't connect. It's Lamb along the far boards now. Luke Lamb to Fisher. Fisher, Hearn. Hearn to Fisher along the blue line. Winding up, shot on goal, goes wide of the net. And able to keep it in was Fisher, but he turns it over to Garcia. And it's the Bulldogs coming the other way. Garcia dumps it in. Bulldogs going to forecheck. Brownwell tries to get to it for the Bulldogs, but can't. It's Luke Lamb. Luke Lamb, headman pass to Woolington, and Woolington, here he comes. 1-on-3. He turns it over almost to neutral ice, but he's able to dump it in. Jackson Fisher trying to play it, but it is Cole Jackson out of his net to play it first. Here is Reading now. Reading, headman pass for Brownwell. He doesn't win the race to it. Looked like he could have won the race to it to prevent an icing called, but Zach Zadakis able to get it first, beat him to the red dot before icing was waved off. 23 shots on goal for the Jayhawks, 12 for the Bulldogs. Faceoff's going to come out to the right of Jackson. 11:16 to go in this second period, this middle frame. Act 2 of this weekend series, this final game of the weekend series between the Bulldogs and the Jayhawks. Jayhawks taking the game last night, winning resoundingly 9-2 after a strong 5-goal showing in the first period. Here's Travis Breyer in the far corner now. He turns it over. That was Peterson there. Peterson put it dangerously in front of the net of Kai Vetter. Vetter able to sweep it out with his stick, and it's Jayhawks looking to come the other way. Here's Brett Siddons. Brett Siddons along the far corner. He'll wrap around the net. Siddons, centering pass for Aiden. Couldn't connect with him. Here's Aiden Siddons. Aiden Siddons along the far corner. This is Brett Siddons with it now. Brett Siddons, do so off the post. Rebound opportunity. Brett Siddons, he cashes it in for the Jayhawks, and the Jayhawks go up 2-1 in this game. Brett Siddons records his second goal of this weekend series, giving the Jayhawks a 2-1 lead as we approach the halfway mark of this game. Do so with that shot on goal. Jackson couldn't corral it. It was a rebound opportunity, and Brett Siddons had a wide open net to look at. Nobody was on Brett Siddons. Siddons just snuck around the Bulldog defense, and he was left wide open. Nothing Cole Jackson could really do about that. And Siddons cashes it in and giving the Jayhawks a 2-1 lead. Here comes Tyler Nelson now streaking down the ice. Nelson beats two men. Nelson had Cole Jackson leaning, but Nelson had too much speed on him and went behind the net. Shot on goal there. Rebounded that time, though able to keep it was Jackson, and he'll sit on the puck. Faceoff comes out to the right of Jackson now. Nelson to take it for the Jayhawks. Won, though, by Aguilar. This is Reading with it along the boards now, getting pressured off by Zadakis. Sommerness with it. He'll dump it into neutral ice. Here's Breyer now. This is Sommerness now. This puck, well, looking for an icing was the Bulldogs. They're not going to get it. Sommerness feeds it. Headman pass now. Here comes Drake. This is Travis Breyer with the puck. Puck played behind the net now by Brownwell. Here's Aguilar with it now. Brownwell now in the corner. This is Garcia along the blue line. He turns it over, and here comes the Jayhawks all the way. Garcia fell. 3-on-1 for the Jayhawks as they hurry. Nelson, cross ice. Davis. They can't connect. Wraparound opportunity for the Jayhawks. They try to get it in. Jackson, though, able to hold the post. Here's Nelson now. Nelson. Roberts fresh off the bench. Roberts back to Nelson. Nelson along the blue line. Tyler Nelson comes into the red dot now. Tyler Nelson circles around. Zach Roberts. Roberts shot on goal, swallowed up there by Jackson. So Jayhawks with the 2-1 lead, courtesy of a second period goal off the stick of Brett Siddons, a rebound opportunity. As the Jayhawks have a 1-goal lead as we're over the halfway mark of this second period. Face-off to left of Jackson, won by the Jayhawks. Bullard's shot got deflected before it could hit the net. It went up and above the crossbar. If you're just joining us here, welcome along inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawks. This puck will get waved off for an icing. Here's Peterson. Peterson shot on goal. Vetter able to save it. Peterson tried to go 5-hole. I think he had some room to go 5-hole. He just shot it up a little too high. Here is a shot there by Hearn, covered up easily, smothered by Cole Jackson. But if you are just joining us, welcome along. I'm Ryan Cartman, calling this game solo tonight. We get the night hours now. It's 5:32 as the sun is set here in Overland Park, Kansas. Jayhawks with a 2-1 lead. Drake got out to an early lead in the first period, courtesy of an Ian Altacruz goal, his fourth of the season. But the Jayhawks come back with two unanswered via Tyler Nelson and Brett Siddons to make this a 2-1 Jayhawks lead. Here's Luke Lamb with it in the far corner. Lamb feeds it, attempting to look for his high school teammate Fisher. That Wayzata connection wasn't there, though, intercepted by the Bulldogs. 8 minutes to go in the second period. Here is Peterson. Peterson with it. He enters cleanly. Peterson shot, kicked aside there by Vetter. Here's the Jayhawks now clearing it into neutral ice. It'll be picked up by Garcia. Garcia feeds it over to his pairing and By. By tries to clear it out. He can't. Fisher gets to it first. Here's Jackson Fisher now with it. Fisher works around By. Fisher shot on goal, covered up by Jackson. 7:33 to go in the second. Here is Duso. Jayhawks win the face-off, but they turn it over to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs will shoot it down length ice, and this will be an icing against Drake. 7:19 to go in the period. Face-off to the right of Jackson, won by Drake. Garcia shoots it down the length of the ice, and this will be yet another icing. Nope, waved off. One in the race is the Bulldogs. Rebound opportunity. He puts it in. Christian Aguilar makes this a tied game yet again. He sinks in the rebound opportunity. As Brett Siddons puts his arms up, asking the linesman why was that icing not called. It goes back to bite the Jayhawks in the butt, and it is now a 2-2 game here in Overland Park as Christian Aguilar puts in that goal, his second of the season, his second of the weekend. Winning that faceoff is the Bulldogs. I'm sorry, folks. It was Aguilar's first of the game, second of the season. He had one last night. Alta Cruz had the opening goal for the Bulldogs. Jayhawks with the behind the net now. Puck batted around behind the net of Jackson. Bulldogs looking to clear it. They can't. This is Gavin Davis now with the puck on the stick. Gavin Davis centering for Woolington. They can't connect. 6.5 minutes to go in the second as Drake will get another icing waved off here. Here's Peter Reading with it. Reading tries to feed it down to Brownwell. Can't. Nelson intercepts it first, and here comes Tyler Nelson. Nelson looks to find Gavin Davis, but they can't connect as this puck will go behind the red line of the net. Here's Peterson with it now. Peterson looks to clear, and he does. They're going to call tip, though, on Malcolm Johnson, so icing waved off. Here is a shot attempt there by the Bulldogs. Doesn't go through. Jayhawks cleared out. This will be an icing going against KU. Face off to the right of Vetter. To be taken by Siddons. Shot on goal, swallowed up there by Vetter. Face off to the right of Vetter. Won by the Jayhawks for the moment. Here's Jackson Fisher with it now. Fisher feeds it to a teammate. Here comes Bullard, headman pass. Tipped by him. And Jackson, good job, just smothers up there. .5:23 to go in the second. 29 shots on goal for the Jayhawks. 17 for Drake. Drake making more of them count, though, as we're all tied up 2 apiece. Puck along the near corner. This is George Bullard with it for the Jayhawks. Bullard gets shoved off by By. Nice job by the big man there, Davis By. 6'1", 190 is By. Here is the Jayhawks. Shot on goal by Fisher. Gloved and stopped by Cole Jackson. Face off to the right of Jackson, won by the Drake Bulldogs. Here's Fisher with it now in neutral ice. Fisher dumps it, and here's Drake now with the puck. By tries to clear it out. He can't, and it's going to be an icing going against Drake here. 4:45 to go in the period. .445 to go in the period. Here's Matthew Garcia with the puck now. Here comes Bulldogs on a breakaway. Alta Cruz gets shoved off the puck. Bulldogs looking for a penalty call. They're not going to get it. They're getting tripped up. It is a Jayhawk. That's Zadakis, and that penalty will be called. So it's going to be Drake going on the penalty kill here for these next couple minutes. As there's a Bulldog down in the corner, that's going to be Alta Cruz. And Zach Zadakis, he got tripped up. The penalty's going to go against the Bulldogs here, if I'm not mistaken. Ian Alta Cruz is down here in the far corner boards. At least yeah, he was the one who went down in the far corner board. So it's Ian Alta Cruz down in the far corner, lying down on his back. He did take a big hit there. And we'll see what happens. Both captains getting to talk to. Parker Peterson for the Bulldogs, Caleb Duso for the Jayhawks. So penalty is going to go against Bridgman here. It's going to be a minor tripping call for tripping up Zach Zadakis. Bulldogs wanted the penalty on the hit on Alta Cruz. They didn't get it, though, so it's going to be a power play for the Jayhawks. Alta Cruz still lying down on his back. Folks, what we're going to do here, actually, we're going to step aside for a second. Alta Cruz still on his back, and no need to show this footage. So we'll be back with you once we're ready to play some more hockey.
Back here after that little break. We're ready to play some more hockey again. Face-off's going to come out to the left of Jackson here. Face-off out to the left of Jackson. Jayhawks win the face-off. On the power play now goes KU. Here is Siddons now with the puck. Brett Siddons. Siddons feeds it to Roberts. To Dusso now. Down to Dusso again. Dusso behind the net. Under 4 minutes to go in the period. Roberts. Dusso. Nelson. Shot on goal goes wide there by Tyler Nelson. Here's Roberts with the puck. Roberts to Brett Siddons now. Brett Siddons circles around along the blue line. Brett Siddons, shot on goal, doesn't get through traffic. Brett Siddons yet again tries it. Brett Siddons, he tucks it through. Brett Siddons, his second goal of the game, third of the weekend, gives the Jayhawks a 3-2 lead, courtesy of a power play goal. So Brett Siddons sneaks it 5-hole on Cole Jackson, and the Jayhawks yet again take a lead with just over 3.5 minutes to go in the second period. Face off after that goal won by the Bulldogs. Here's Brownell with it. And here's the Jayhawks with it after that turnover. Here's Tyler Nelson with the puck. Nelson in neutral ice. Here's Roberts now. Zach Roberts will dump it in behind the net of Jackson as he goes out to play it and leave it for Davis by, for the moment at least, as he tries to battle off some Jayhawks. Puck left around the faceoff dot, and Brownell will pick it up. Brownell along the boards. He gets pressure off the puck, won by Tyler Nelson. Nelson now. Nelson shot swallowed up there by Jackson. .249 to go in the second period now. 33 shots on goal for the Jayhawks, 17 for the Bulldogs. Jayhawks getting their first power play, second power play attempt of the weekend, second power play attempt of the game, and they cash in on it. Brett Siddons gives the Jayhawks a lead. Shot there by Roberts. Tried to get it tipped with the stick was Woollington and Nelson, but they couldn't get a stick on it. Here's Hearn. Hearn couldn't feed it. Here's Brownell now. Brownell racing against Hearn. Brownell shot. Glove down. Rebound opportunity. Brownell shoots it wide of the net. 2:22 to go in this period. Here's Brownell again. Brownell's shot goes wide. Charles Brownell with a lot of opportunities here in this last sequence of plays. Jayhawks now with the puck in neutral ice. Wallace-Smith loses an edge, falls over, but Nelson able to pick up the puck. Here's Tyler Nelson. He dangles in, stick handles in. Tyler Nelson. Here's Wallace-Smith. Wallace-Smith will dump it on the boards, looking for Woollington. Woollington can't pick it up. Gavin Davis, though, he's able to. Here's Tyler Nelson now. Minute 45 to go in the second. Nelson looks for Davis, can't connect with him. Puck gets fed around to Johnson. Malcolm Johnson. Here's Woollington. Woollington carries for Davis. Davis back to Woollington behind the net. Woollington looking for a pass. He'll find it in Johnson. Johnson moves up now. Johnson shot. Glove there by Jackson. Cole Jackson looking like a catcher right there, sticking that one. Trying to get a strike call for the umpire behind him if that was baseball. That's what it looked like. I don't know if a fastball. Minute 23 to go now in the period. Face off to the right of Jackson. Won by the Bulldogs. Matthew Garcia rings it around the boards. And it'll be shot down there by Reading. Icing called against the Bulldogs. A minute 14 left in the second. Face off to the right of Jackson. Won by Luke Lamb and the Jayhawks. Shot on goal, couldn't get through. Bullard with it. He tried to get a shot on goal. A little spinorama, couldn't get it to go. And here's Luke Lamb with the puck on the stick now in neutral ice. A minute to go in the second period. Jayhawks with a 3-2 lead, courtesy of a Brett Siddons power play goal. Here's Jackson Fisher. Fisher shot on goal. Glove hand larceny yet again by Cole Jackson. Cole Jackson, show off the glove, young kid. Making moves with that glove. 52.3 to go in the second. Face off to the left of Jackson. Won by the Jayhawks initially, but Bulldogs send it down. Icing waved off. Doesn't reach the line anyway. Here's Adakis. He loses an edge. Gives the Bulldogs an opportunity, but Caleb Dussault for the Jayhawks. Luckily, if you're a Jayhawks fan, he picks it up. Here's Breyer with it. Breyer loses it. Reading now along the near boards. 30 seconds to go in the period. This is Peterson. Peterson looking for Garcia. He has him. Garcia now. Garcia's shot didn't get through traffic. Here comes the Jayhawks the other way. 20 seconds to go. Aiden Siddons now. Aiden centering pass looking for Brett. Didn't get to him, though. Just behind him. Here's Adakis now. 10 seconds in the period. Adakis dumps it down. Cole Jackson to play out of his net. Brett Siddons with it behind the net. Has one last shot to the Jayhawks with 4 seconds if he gets it on the stick. He cannot. And that'll wind out the second period here from Overland Park. Cole Jackson, these last couple of minutes, these last couple sequences, that young man showing off the nasty glove hand work there, that glove hand larceny by the kid. And he's getting some fist bumps from his teammates right now and from the starting goalie last night, Carter Osgood, keeping this just a one-goal game. So the Jayhawks, after going down one in the first intermission, are going up one into the second intermission. Jayhawks take a 3-2 lead, courtesy again of a Brett Siddons power play goal. We'll be back with you for the third period after this break. Keep it right here on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. Back here in Overland Park, trying to get the camera up really quick. Sorry about that, folks. One sec. Change it up really quick. There you go. That looks better. Let's put that down there and ready for opening face-off of the third period. Won by the Jayhawks. Here is Drake with the puck now. Drake along the near boards will dump it into the KU zone. And here comes the Jayhawks. This is Wasmith. Wasmith dangles, shot on goal, gloved up, suckered up by Jackson. Shot on goal again, blockered aside by Jackson. Puck played in the corner now. Here is Hearn. Hearn with it, shot tipped up by Woolington and to the side of the net. Here is Roberts now. Hearn tries to play it. He can't, so it's going to come out in neutral ice. This is Davis. Davis now with the puck. Davis shot, deflected aside by Jackson. Here is Johnson now. Johnson loses the handle of it, and here comes the Bulldogs the other way. This is Brownell with it. Brownell shot, gloved and saved there by Vetter. Face off to left of Vetter, won by the Bulldogs. Here is Jayhawks now as they come again. Along center ice. This is Wasmith with it. Able to stay on sides there as do so as this puck gets dumped in. This is By with it. By shoots it up ice. Headman pass, and here come the Bulldogs the other way. Dumped back, attempted there by the Bulldogs looking for Peterson. Was reading, but they couldn't connect. So the Jayhawks take control of it, and they come the other way now. This is Aiden Sinners. Aiden Sinners enters the zone. Aiden tries to dangle in, but loses control of the puck. As the puck goes in the near corner now, and Bulldogs swarm it up. Here comes Drake now. Drake dumps it in behind the net of Vetter as he goes out to play it. And it is Wasmith with the puck. Wasmith, Siddons, two Siddons. Aiden Siddons to Brett. Here's Brett with the puck now. Trailing behind him is Duso. Brett Siddons goes east to west. Can put it behind the net of Jackson. Just went wide with that shot. Here's Johnson now. Johnson. Shot on goal by Wasmith. Couldn't get it to go through traffic. Drake been very well this game at blocking their shots in front of the net before it can get to Jackson. Here's Johnson now. Johnson along the near boards to Siddons. Brett Siddons. Malcolm Johnson. Malcolm Johnson shot sticked in front by a Jayhawk. Couldn't go through. Here's Aiden now. Aiden Siddons shot off the crossbar and out. Aiden Siddons almost giving the Jayhawks some insurance in this game. As this puck gets dumped and rung around the boards, as the Jayhawks look to work on the forecheck, they can't as it's Drake coming the other way. Jayhawks are going for a line change. Malcolm Johnson shoving a Bulldog off the puck there, and here come the Jayhawks. This is Luke Lamb. Luke Lamb goes through the legs of a Bulldog. Luke Lamb trying to go 5-hole. He cannot as Jackson closes up the wickets. Face-off's going to come out to the left of Jackson here. 40 shots on goal for the Bulldogs, 20 for the Jayhawks. Puck comes out, and here comes the Bulldogs on a breakaway. 2-on-1 if they hurry, but the pass went behind Brownell. No good as Jayhawks come the other way now. Jayhawks, so turn it over right back to the Bulldogs. Brownell with the puck on the stick, getting pressured off by Lamb. Brownell turns it over to Lamb, though. Puck played now into far corner by Bullard. Bullard with it. He's getting pressured off by a Bulldog. Jayhawks win that battle. Here's Lamb, that Wayzata connection with Fisher in front of the net. Trying to go to Fisher, he can't as this puck is rung around the boards instead. And it's Drake's turn to go the other way with Brownell. Brownell getting pressured off by Fisher. He dumps it for a Bulldog, but he can't find him. In front of the net now, Zadake is able to get to that puck before it can reach the net of Vetter. Bulldogs come back into their D zone to play it. Zadake is getting on his knees to make sure it doesn't enter the KU defensive zone, but it does either way as it's dumped in by a Bulldog. Here is the Lamb now. Lamb tries to clear it out, but Reading able to get a stick on it first. Zadakis to his defensive pairing in Breyer. Jayhawks been changing up the defensive pairings a lot tonight, and this is a new one we've seen, Zadakis and Breyer. Here is Lamb. Luke Lamb along the far boards. He tries to dangle in, but loses control of the puck. Lamb, though, gets control of it. Shot tipped in front of the net. Jackson Fisher there tried to stuff it behind, but just went wide. Fisher, though, with the puck still on the stick behind the net. This is Roberts. Roberts tries to get it in center and pass, but can't get it to go through, and it's the Bulldogs the other way now. Here is Reading with it. Reading. Shot went high and above the crossbar, and it'll ring out almost in the neutral zone. Nice try by Bridgman to keep it in. Here's Reading now. Reading dumps it into the corner. This is Peterson playing along the corner now. Dangerous puck there in front of the net. Luckily, nobody home. If you're a Jayhawks fan, Zach Roberts able to get it out of trouble. Had a wide open net to look at to the Bulldogs if they wanted it. Here's Davis along the far corner. Shot on goal, tipped in front by Jayhawk, but blockered aside by Jackson. Here's Hearn with it now dancing on the blue line. Hearn just wide of the net. Willington got a stick on it, but it just went wide. 14 and a half minutes to go in the period now. This final frame to play. Willington with the puck. He gets pressured off, but able to keep control of it. Nick Willington still with the puck. He moves around. Roberts now. Roberts shot. Smothered up by Jackson. Nice save by the young man. Face off to the right of Jackson. And here the Jayhawks. Shot on goal again. Jackson couldn't swallow it up. It rebounded opportunity for the Jayhawks, but instead it gets sent down by Drake for an icing. Or icing waved off, actually. Didn't reach the line in time. Here come the Jayhawks now. Dangerous in front of the net there by Brett Siddons. Kai Vetter had to get down in the butterfly to make sure that one didn't accidentally squeak in. Here's Brett Siddons down. He enters the zone. And it's going to be covered up by Jackson. Good job by him to cover that up. Brett Siddons was coming down Main Street with that puck. Face off to the left of Jackson. Won by KU. Brett Siddons. Siddons shot, blocker aside, into the corner by Jackson. Puck batted around in the Drake zone. Here's Aiden Siddons to come away with it. Drake, though, able to get the turnover. And here they come now. This is Brownell with it. Squeaks by Johnson. Brownell in the near corner. Tries to squeak by Brett Siddons. He can't, though. Centering pass attempted for Reading. No good. But Reading able to get control of it right here. Another shot on goal. Went off the hand of Johnson. He has to shake it off a little bit. That one must have stung. Headman pass attempted for Aiden Siddons. Icing is going to be waved off here. Going out of his net to plate is Jackson, so Siddons has to hold up just a little bit. Here is Drake now. They turn it over. That puck, though, is offside. It's going to be delayed here. Brett Siddons has to go back to touch up, and he does. Here's Brett Siddons with the puck now. Crossing the 13-minute mark of the period. Here's Brett Siddons. Brett with it. He'll go behind the net. Pass. Davis couldn't get it on. Save there by Jackson. 12:48 in the period to go. 44 shots on goal for the Jayhawks. 20 for the Bulldogs. Face off to the left of Jackson, won by the Bulldogs. And here they come. This is Brownell with it. Vetter goes off the plate behind his net after that dump in. Picking it up, those Reading. Centering pass, shot on goal. Vetter able to cover up. And he actually decides to give it out to his defenseman. Interesting choice by Vetter there. Sky ball put up there by Malcolm Johnson to try to clear it out. That thing was way up in there like a pop fly. Here's Luke Lamb with it. Behind the net now. Lamb for Fisher. Fisher back to Lamb. That Wayzata connection going to work here on this third line. Here's Zadakis now with it after a turnover. Zadakis rings it off the boards looking for Luke Lamb. He has him. Here's the Jayhawks now trying to get it, but they can't. This is Bridgman with it. Here comes Drake. And the corner boards, a little battle between Peterson and Zadakis. Zadakis knocks Peterson down, but Peterson able to come up with it. Nice job by the young man. Centering pass, shot on by but kicked aside by Vetter. And it's Johnson to come the other way with it now. Malcolm Johnson carrying the puck, the big defenseman. He loses control of it, though, and gives it right back to the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs look to come the other way. This is Gavin Davis. Gavin Davis gets into neutral ice as the puck's being fought for right now. So whiffing on it is a Bulldog defenseman, but Jayhawks couldn't do anything with it there as they had to come touch up as they were offsides. Glove down there is that little dump-in / shot, and Jackson's going to hold on to it. Face-off to the right of Jackson, won by the Jayhawks. Here's a shot on by Zadakis, wide of net. Here is Gavin Davis with it. Davis places it in the corner to Breyer. Breyer back to Davis. Davis, shot on goal, smothered up by Jackson as we crossed the 11-minute mark of the third period. Face-off to the right of Jackson, won by the Jayhawks. Breyer to Zadakis. Zadakis shot off the stick and into the netting, out of play. Wolves stoppage. Face-off to the left of Jackson, won by the Jayhawks. This is Zadakis. Zadakis across the blue line to Breyer. Breyer now, shot on goal. He scores! Nick Woolington, his third goal of the weekend, puts the Jayhawks up 4-2 now, a little bit of insurance. Nick Woolington, the freshman out of Gardner, the local kid, gets the Jayhawks a 2-goal advantage in this third period. Face-off after that, won by the Jayhawks. This is Zadakis with it. Zadakis over to Davis. Davis shot, couldn't get through traffic. Bulldogs pick it up. Bulldogs look to come the other way. On the forecheck here, icing waved off. This is Aguilar and Breyer going at it. Breyer gets to it first, and he's able to ring it around to a teammate in Zadakis, and Zadakis passes it up to Nelson. Nelson, the puck carrier. Nelson goes around. He's going to look for a wraparound here. No, he will not. Spoke too soon there. It's hard to tell what Tyler Nelson's going to do sometimes, Sooks. Sometimes he'll go for it. Sometimes he'll take the shot. You just don't know. Here is Bai. Bai tries to get it up. A headman pass to Peterson. Doesn't work. Gets off the stick, but Peterson decides to dump it down instead behind the net of Vetter. Across the halfway mark of the final period to play in Overland Park. Here's Davis now. Looking for Woolington. Woolington here in the far corners now. Getting pressured off a little bit. Garcia now. Garcia. Woolington batting around. Here's Davis. Davis turning pass. Nelson. Blockered aside by Jackson. Puck being battled for in the far corner boards. Won by Nelson. Nelson will away with it. Here is Hearn. Hearn. Roberts. Roberts will ring it around the back of the boards. Nobody home for the Jayhawks there as they went for a line change. Bulldogs come away with it, but they can't get it out of the zone. Here's Woolington now. Woolington who just scored. Shot on goal. Covered up there by Jackson. 9:08 to go in the period. Face off to the left of Jackson, won by the Jayhawks. Out in the neutral zone, though. Jayhawks going to have to reset here. Hearn dumps it in. Jayhawks do touch up. Brett Siddons enters first, but Jackson to play it out of his net for a teammate. Here is Brownell with it. Brownell tries to get around some Jayhawks. He does. Nice job by the young man, and he's able to clear it out. Glove down, though, by Roberts. Roberts now will clear it behind the net of Jackson. Jackson won't go out to play it. Smart decision by him. Trying to play it is Aiden Siddons, but he couldn't corral it in, so the Bulldogs get a chance to work here. Here's Bridgman. Bridgman tries to play it off the boards, but didn't go far enough for anything to happen, so the Jayhawks get it right back. Here's Brett Siddons now. Siddons around the near boards. Brett Siddons passes it to Nelson. Nelson shot. Couldn't get through. Brett Siddons shot. Blocker to side. Rebound opportunity there for Hearn. Just couldn't get to it in time. Aiden Siddons now. Puck along the blue line. Hearn now. Hearn dangles around. Hearn shot. Wide of net. Hearn still picks it up. Hearn behind the net now, the defenseman. And he tries to get it, and it gets cleared out. Try to find Aiden Siddons, but Siddons couldn't hold the line, couldn't get the puck on the stick. So the Jayhawks going to have to reset here with 7:45 to go. Siddons falls down. Brownell shot. He scores! Charles Brownell, his first goal of the game, first goal of the weekend, fifth goal of the season. Brings us back to a one-goal game now here in Overland Park. So Charles Brownell picks his spot and fires and finds the back of the net, cashing it in for the Bulldogs, making this a one-goal game now just after the Jayhawks and Nick Willington were able to make it a two-goal game, get some insurance. But now Jayhawks insurance, that coverage is gone. Puck in the near corners now, played by the Jayhawks. Being pressured off the puck, that's Brownell there. Brownell comes away with it just after scoring a goal. Brownell now crosses and enters the Jayhawk zone. Tries to scoot around the man, can't. And here's Luke Lamb with it now. And a big hit there put on. And we're going to have a penalty called here against Malcolm Johnson. It's going to be a roughing call there against Malcolm Johnson. He's going to sit for two, and this gives the Bulldogs their first look at the power play today. They went 0 for 1 last night. So Malcolm Johnson goes to sit for two, a minor for roughing. Face off to the right of Vetter. Won by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs shot goes wide of net. Played in the near boards. Who will win this puck battle? It is indeed the Bulldogs. Reading with it. He kicks it to his stick. Reading now for Garcia. Garcia, though, couldn't keep it in off the pass, and the Bulldogs have to reset here on the power play. Under 7 to go now in the game. Bulldogs now along the near boards. This is Breyer. Breyer feeds it to his pairing into Dacus. Jayhawks D pair clears it out and behind the net of Jackson. He goes to play it out. 6.5 minutes to go now in the game. Here is Aguilar with it. Aguilar shot on goal and gloved save there by Vetter. Power play trying to break through for these Bulldogs. 70 seconds to go on the 2-minute rough minor to Johnson. Garcia along the near boards. He tries to keep it in. He does. He'll ring it around looking for a teammate, but he can't find one. Zadakis with it. He tries to clear it out. He gives it to Siddons, and here comes the Siddons connection. Aiden Siddons, Brett Siddons. What will happen here? Shorthanded for the Jayhawks. Aiden Siddons in the near corner. He will turn it over, though, to Reading, and Jayhawks not going to pressure too much. They'll be content to stay on the penalty kill as we cross the 6-minute mark in the third period, excuse me. Here come the Bulldogs on the far boards. That was Reading with it. He lost it to Zadakis. 30 seconds to go now on the power play for the Bulldogs. Falling over there is Siddons. He had control of it for a second, but he fell over. He's looking for a penalty call, won't find it. Here's the Bulldogs now. Headman pass here for Reading, that looks to be. 10 seconds to go on the power play. This is By with it. Davis By, the defenseman, enters the zone. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Centering pass attempted, no good there. As here comes Malcolm Johnson out of the box. Matthew Garcia with the puck in his zone, defensive zone, as we're chasing the 5-minute mark here in the third period. Jayhawks up 4-3 in a way more tightly contested game. Here comes a breakaway. Brownell, shot, glove save by Kai Vetter. Kai Vetter with some glove hand larceny on Brownell, keeping this a 1-goal game. Face off here will come to the right side of Vetter. Face off to the left of Vetter, excuse me. Won by the Jayhawks. Even strength hockey now again. Here is Woolington. Woolington. He looks to go behind the net. He won't, though. He'll dump it to Roberts. Roberts now. Nelson shot on goal. Kicked aside by Jackson. Tyler Nelson along the near corner boards. Puck stays in the Bulldogs' defensive zone. 4.5 minutes to go in the period. Puck played out, tipped off of Tyler Nelson's shin, or Nick Woolington's shin, excuse me, so icing waved off. 4:20 to go in the period. Roberts with it in the near corner. He'll try to swing it around for Breyer. Can't connect, so here's Matthew Garcia with it. This is Tyler Nelson now. Nelson with the puck. 4 minutes to go in the period. Tyler Nelson. He'll try to dangle around some men and his own teammates too. This is Gavin Davis. Gavin Davis, centering pass for Woolington. He has to go behind the net. Wraparound attempt, no good. Save there by Jackson. Hearn. Roberts. Roberts shot on goal. Fires high. Hearn now. Hearn shot, fires high, and then the net will stoppage here. Folks, want to let you know before the game, we did have a crash of our system, so it's been getting close here, I can see, in these last couple minutes to where it's been stopping and starting up a little bit. Don't know if you're seeing that at home or not, but if we lose you, that's what it is for. I hope we don't lose you. I hope we get a call the last 3.5 minutes of this game willingly, but if not, it's because there could be a crash. Again, Wi-Fi's been slow. We've had systems crashing all over the arena today. We didn't have the lineup video to you for that reason because our editor making a video, her system crashed. So if we somehow lose you guys, that's what's probably going to be the case. So I hope it doesn't happen. As I can see the system right now just on my streaming slowing down a little bit. So I hope we can stay with you. If not, we will get it reset as fast as we can. But right now, don't want to reset it while it's still somewhat working. Face off at the center dot. Won by KU. This is Hearn with it. Hearn